And Friday's earthquake and its subsequent aftershocks were the largest in the New York City area and beyond that we felt in 140 years. Here with us now is Zack Iscol, Commissioner of the New York City Emergency Management Department. Sir, welcome to the show.
It's great to be with you. Thanks for having me on this morning.
We are thrilled to have you. I know this is a busy time for you. You are the Commissioner of the Emergency Response Department. After Friday's quake, how does your team assess any possible structural threats to our city?
So the first thing that we do is we have sort of two different types of events that we sort of focus on. We have notice events and no notice events. A notice event is something that you plan for. It's forecasted, something like a weather event.
Sure.
It could be something also like opening day yesterday at Yankee Stadium. It could be a parade. Then you have no notice events, right? That could be an act of terrorism. It could be a mass shooting. It could be a steam pipe rupture, a building collapse, or in this case, an earthquake. And so always the immediate concern is life safety issues. What are we doing? How are we assessing the initial impacts? Do we need to get first responders out to anywhere? Are there building collapses, people trapped in rubble? In terms of looking forward, one of the things we also do in our public communications, we encourage people to report damage. We also do a lot of inspections. So we reached out immediately. We're in touch with Department of Buildings, with our utility partners like Con Ed, DEP. We're inspecting everything from the dams upstate to our bridges and tunnels here. And then I think the Department of Buildings got about 60 plus reports from people who wanted their buildings inspected.
But no structural damage as far as you know, or severe structural damage?
I think the only thing that I know of is there was one building that was inspected yesterday. It had some cracks in it. There was a school with some issues in the gymnasium that might have a partial vacate. But for the most part, we have teams of inspectors that are going out to all of these sites where people have concerns. They're doing their evaluations, and that's something we'll continue to do going forward.
And Commissioner, as you well know, this is a commuter city. What about the bridges, the tunnels, the railroads, the subway?
Yeah, so one of the primary concerns, every single one of those agencies has protocols in place for doing initial and follow-on inspections. We did that yesterday. We even had drones up. We had boats, helicopters inspecting all that infrastructure. No issues reported or seen at this time.
I do want to talk about the criticism that the city is facing about the alert that went out. Some people got it 20 minutes after the earthquake. Some people got it 45 minutes after the earthquake. When there's an actual emergency, that's a little worrisome. How would you respond to people's concerns?
Yeah, so first off, as I said earlier, our initial concern is always about life safety issues. And I think one of the things that we're trying to figure out is like, we're not here to break the news that there was an earthquake. Everybody felt it, right? It happened at about 10:24. The USGS, which is the federal agency that monitors seismic activity, confirmed at 10:35, about 8-10 minutes later, that it was in fact an earthquake. Everybody knows there's an earthquake.
Right.
They don't need us to break that news. What they do need us to do is inform them about what they need to do to stay safe, if there are dangers in the area. And so the first thing that we're doing is we're looking around the city. Are there building collapses? Are there subway issues? Do we need to tell people to stay out of the roads so we can get first responders, fire trucks, ambulances around the city, right? These are the things that are immediate concern. Do we need to tell people to stay out of specific areas because there's been a major gas pipeline rupture?
Sure.
Or because there's a building that's in danger of collapse? That's sort of what we're initially evaluating, and we got that first message out when going through all of that. And by the way, because the cellular phone system was overloaded, we had to go to redundant comm systems.
Interesting, sure, because everyone went to their cell phone when it happened.
So we're going to redundant comm systems to get all these check-ins, the airports, utility partners, buildings, FDNY, looking at the 911 call system, and we got the first message out in 13 minutes. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, especially for a metropolitan city like New York.
Proud of the work that our team did yesterday.
Well, Commissioner, we appreciate you coming on this morning. I know it's a busy time for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time,
Thanks
sir.
for having me on.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.